get caught up the officers masquerading as an officer, and they kick you out. You're going to try and get back to where you really belong, eh? Colonel Gus Gilmore, Major Grant Walsh, Warrant Officer First Class Glenn Hibbett, and members of the regiment. It gives me very great pleasure to welcome you all here this afternoon to the Sergeant's Mess here at Campbell Barracks to witness the launching of my dad's book, Blood on Borneo.
Members of Z Special, the Sioux family, members of the SAS Regiment, members of the SAS Association, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commanding Officer, I would like to echo Barry's sentiments in welcoming you here this afternoon. It is indeed an honour to be part of this significant event, and it's also rather appropriate for Sergeant Jack Sue, DCM, to launch his book than the Sergeant's Mess of a Special Forces unit. So Jack, thank you for asking us to be part of this today, and enjoy your day, mate.
This station was swarming with Japanese troops, and he dressed up as a Chinese coolie servant in these clothes, and my young brother is coming out to show you these clothes that have not been worn in 56 years. Cam, come out here. It's even got the same tear in the shirt, but he walked into this station. That's got to be loophole. Of the SASR, and indeed is the longest serving honorary colonel that SAS have had in the regiment. He also fought in Bougainville, and I'm very, very honoured and very proud to say that he is the patron to Z Special Unit International, has been for many years. Would you please give him a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Sir Charles Court.
Major Grant Walsh, the second in command of the SAS Regiment, members of the Z Special Unit International, members of the SAS Regiment, past and present, and friends all. You know, as I was looking at Grant Walsh, I said to myself, aren't the majors young these days? It is a great honour to be here today. There's something very special about today. And isn't it wonderful to have Jack with us? You know, I was dead scared we wouldn't have him, and it wouldn't be quite the same. But Jack is a very special person, not only in your life and my life, but in the life of the Australian Army and in the life of the Australian people. There's not many men sort of capture this imagination of people like they do in the case of Jack Sue. And there's good reason for it, because he was one of a special breed. And there were many of them. They were very, very special. And it's wonderful that this book has been written, because unfortunately, too few people know about the activities of these very special people doing the most extraordinary things in the most extraordinary way. And I'm delighted for Jack's sake. I'm even more delighted for our sake that this book has been written, because it's one way that we can convey to a young generation some of the hardships, some of the ingenuity, the innovativeness of these people. It used to make me feel very humble indeed when I was confronted with any of these people. What used to embarrass me is they always wanted to salute me. And I thought it should be the other way around. Now, if you can imagine, those of you who are not of the special units, these people being put ashore, as Michael Jeffrey so wonderfully expressed in his message, by submarine, by parachute, by any way that they could be put in there. And then they're on their own. Maybe a radio that worked if they were lucky, and moving so closely. They had to be close to the Japanese. They couldn't just stand off and let it be. And when we used to get the sit reps back, the messages back from these people, I used to read them and just marvel. And the number of killings of the Japanese that they had was quite unbelievable for so few people. And what used to make my blood run cold was when I realised that they were supported by a group of natives that they had recruited. You know, and any one of them could have betrayed them. Any one of them could have been the end of them. And these people that Jack particularly represented in another country and operating with these Malays and Chinese and I suppose anyone else that they could rope in, and they wouldn't have any compunction about that. You know, it's quite marvellous, the connection that developed between these people. And so, having filled you in with that, it's a great honour to be asked to follow the message from Major General Mike Jeffrey, former commander of the SAS, former governor of this state, and a great soldier with a great record that understands very, very clearly, better than most of us, just what was the role of these Special Z unit people, including the role of our great Jack. And so on that note, it is my very proud responsibility and a very humbling task to launch this book, a book that had to be written. If it hadn't been written by Jack, all of this wonderful history, this link with a very infamous period, would have been lost forever. So thank you, Jack, for what you did, in spite of adversity, to finish this book. And so on that note, Blood on Borneo is officially launched.